Hi, my name's Alex Grundon and welcome to Series 2, Episode 7 of the Hidden London Hangouts. Today is quite different from other episodes that we've done for you because, in a way, I'm not in charge. Chris will be in charge today. We've got a massive quiz. Really cool subject, actually, to go at today. And I think you're going to learn a lot and be fascinated by what we tell you. I'm not doing this on my own. I've got three amazing people from the London Transport Museum to guide me through the secrets of the tube. First up is Chris Nix. Good day to you.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for putting everybody in my hands today. This is quite a fun one, I think, because we took the idea of stations with different names and thought we'd have a bit of fun with it.
Marvellous stuff. And I see he's in autumnal colours, as is Siddy Holloway. Is this the first jumper of the season, Siddy?
I think so. I think it's finally sweater weather. Sweater weather.
It's funny, really, because today, I don't know about you, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm wearing my jumper around my neck in a kind of hooray Henry kind of way.
Oh, yeah. Sort of like a sort of a wasp in the 80s.
Yeah. Do you remember in the 80s when they used to go, shall we go to the golf? And they used to shove a little jumper around their necks. I quite like this. I'm feeling quite warm across the back, but I'm still open on the arms, you see. Not quite winter yet. Laura Hilton-Brown, are you ready for winter?
I think I am. I actually quite like autumn and winter. And I was thinking that we're all wearing quite muted, like dark colours. It's a bit of a wet and windy day here. I was thinking you look more like you were going boating, though, with the old shoulder jumper there. Loving the look.
I'll be on the poop deck.
Yeah,
lovely, won't it? With my special shoes with leather laces, whatever they are. I don't know what they are, but they was quite nice, don't they? I quite like the idea of being strong enough to just really lob a rope. Anyway, so today's episode is all about name changes. I don't know about you, but if I ever had my way, I would have been a Rob or a Dan, because I just think they're butch names, and obviously I'm very butch. But tube stations have changed their names too through time, and some of them are a bit of a surprise, and we're going to look into that today, as Chris mentioned. So Chris, this was sort of inspired by a certain footballer temporarily getting notoriety in a North London tube station, wasn't it?
It was.
Look at that.
So for the 2018 World Cup, because our performance was reasonably good that year, we temporarily changed the name of Southgate Station to be Gareth Southgate Station, as you can see in that image.
I love that. I really, really love that. And last episode, we talked about it very, very briefly. I mentioned it at the very, very end of the last episode. There were two stations that immediately sprang to mind. One of them was Dover Street, and one of them was Gillespie Road. Neither of those stations actually appear on any tube map anymore, but they were once, weren't they, Chris?
They were, yes, and they enjoyed those names for quite a little while until they changed the names that we know them as now. And I know that between us, we know what those are. So, who's offering?
Laura?
Right. I do know. Gillespie Road's Arsenal.
Well done.
Correct.
Dover Street is Green Park.
That's right.
Is that right?
Excellent.
And am I right in saying as well, Chris, that in the middle of all of that, when Gillespie Road first became Arsenal, it was also called Highbury Hill?
It was. It had that in brackets, and it was just quietly dropped over a period of time.
You had to go one better, didn't you, Grundon? I knew the answer, but you were like, hang on, a few
I'm doing my little... Yeah, absolutely. I certainly did. And Dover Street, still, the lovely thing is, in Dover Street, there's pale blue tiles on the wall. At Green Park, they've carried that colour along. So there's still those beautiful pale blue tiles in Green Park stations, a little tribute to the changes. Now, this is where I kind of get a bit jittery, because last time Chris took charge, I was the victim of a chronic quiz, the most difficult quiz I could possibly have ever been asked. So, Chris, we're all in your hands again to be humiliated. So roll on with your quiz mastery.
Thank you, Alex. So first of all, we're going to be using a few images to help you maybe recognize either where the place is on the map or what it looked like when it had the name that we're looking for the alternative for. And so today we're looking for the also known as for all of these, the AKA of each station. And just to get you into that, we'll have a look at a few things for the one that we were just talking about, Dover Street. So here's an example, okay, of a ticket.
Oh, look at that.
I pulled out I've pulled out one specially for us that was third class.
Hi, I mean, what? I'm a first class lady.
We aspire to better things, but sometimes it's important to keep grounded, I think.
It just
There
is
you go.
what
There's
it
a
is.
ticket to Dover Street.
I've slept in a skip.
It was only tuppence. It was only
Have you?
tuppence.
I want to know the story behind that.
I don't even remember getting in it.
And Alex, just to your point about sometimes stations having subtitle names, here's one of the platform where it was.
Oh, look at that.
Dover
That's
Street, St.
absolutely
James.
fab.
Thought you'd like that. Do we know why it had St. James in a bracket?
Well, because it serves St James's like
Park.
area.
Yeah.
No, not the park, but the area.
St James's,
And-
yes. There was that lovely
Yeah.
bar, wasn't there? Just St James's that shut.
So very well done there, Siddy, because that's serious skills. Some people would go, oh, it's St. James's Park. But of course, there's a station called St. James's Park. It was the area.
Yeah.
St James.
Well,
yeah.
everything sort of down south from the Ritz is basically is called St James, down to the palace.
I organised a wedding reception in St James.
There are
Was
some-
They're now divorced.
Oh dear. We're not hiring you for that if
Yeah,
ever we do.
I'm a bit of a jinx.
What I love as well is the sheer amount of advertising on that wall, and the fact that you've got Mossbroth up against a safe company. It's a bit of a eclectic mix, isn't it?
Well,
It's
it's
beautiful.
nice though that because the Moss brothers are they're the wine cellars, the legendary wine cellars on St James's Street. Do you know them? They've got. I once went in there with my brother-in-law, and they tried to get us. He wanted to see if he could test like a cognac that was from like 1873 or something.
They're
Needless
also
to
a
say-
suit maker.
They were like,
I was going to say, were
yeah.
they selling that under the counter of the suit shop? Because
Yeah, 'cause that-
they have like, you know, cognac and what's the other one called? Armagnac or something.
Yeah,
They
and
have
yakety
stuff
yak.
that- and yakety yak. They have stuff there from like, you know, early 19th century. It's amazing.
Lovely. So
I
that's
did not
Dover
know that.
Street.
Okay. Now, my next question for you, and I'm just going to bring you back into view. By the way, I've realised that after last week where Laura was channeling the hoedown, I've done the same thing, haven't I?
Yeah. It's a bit Brokeback Mountain, Nix. It's a bit Brokeback
No,
Mountain.
he wants to be my partner in the line dancing
In
competition.
the hoedown.
We should
Yeah.
coordinate one week and totally
Oh
do
my-
a bit of line dancing.
Very
and see if
well.
anybody
All you need
knows.
is a horse and a mountain and a hat.
So,
And, you know, a few other things. But, you know.
Oh, Siddy. I just wait for you to say something inappropriate. It's great.
you don't have to wait long, do you? So, anyway.
I love it. Shut my naughty sister. So where are we going next on this mad quiz that we're all going to look stupid in?
So I'm going to follow on from the station names with brackets. So Holborn also used
What?
to have- Holborn.
What?
Holborn.
Holborn. Yeah.
I even said I call it Holborn when you asked me, didn't you? And I've
Did.
just totally Holborn.
Holborn.
I've put the L in. Anyway, Holborn station also had a little bracket underneath it with another name. Anybody?
Sir. Kingsway.
Very well done. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at this little poster, which shows you a number of places that have had a number of station name changes in there. So if we look just down underneath the reconstruction and naming of stations, you can see Dover Street is being reconstructed with the entrances, and will now be renamed Green Park. And then below it, we can see that Holborn brackets Kingsway is mentioned as well. I've done it again. We can see that Holborn
I love
brackets
this.
Kingsway is mentioned.
Wow, that's fab, isn't it? Isn't that what a great old poster as well? Loving this.
Okay, now then, I'm expecting an answer for this one, Laura. Principally
Oh, no.
from you.
The pressure. The
Here we go.
pressure.
What's that one called?
Oh, it's my fave. Aldwych.
Okay, so Strand Station, as it originally opened, became Aldwych Station, and it gave its name away. which station did it give its name away to?
Charing Cross.
Right, excellent
Just
work.
down the way. Just
So-
down the Strand.
At the other end of the Strand, we have Charing Cross Station. If you look, though, down at the bottom of that map, you'll see, even more confusingly, another station with
Charing Cross
as
is
well.
Embankment.
Well, it's
Indeed.
called Embankment Charing Cross at the time.
Yeah.
And then it was they dropped the embankment and it just became Charing Cross. And Charing Cross on the Northern Line became Strand. And then you had the two different ones, Strand and Trafalgar Square. And they were two
And they
separate
melded.
stations. And then
Have we
became
lost you yet, dear
Charing
viewer? Have we lost you yet? You know,
So-
because there was wallpaper paste and sticky labels being flung around the Strand for quite some time while they decided what they were going to call these stations. So Strand became Aldwych, Charing Cross became Strand, Trafalgar Square eventually became Charing Cross, Strand became Charing Cross, Embankment that was Charing Cross became Embankment.
Correct, yeah.
I'm so lost.
You did very well there.
Do you know what? The thing is, though, Laura, when you've had a drink, you'll go to the right station and you'll get home. That's just how it
Okay.
works.
Somehow you get home.
Your beer compass is
Beer
fantastic.
compass
yeah.
is good.
So, I thank you for all of that. I just about tried to keep up with the photos there. So, let's just unpack all of that lot. We have a couple of photos to show. Well, each of those sites with those different names. Okay. So let's just have a look at a couple of those stations then. So first of all, this one is Strand. Which line is that serving? Anyone?
Northern Line.
Yes, the
Excellent.
platforms are straight. So I would say that would be the Northern Line.
Yes, excellent work.
Well, it also says SE and CR.
Indeed. Which stands for?
South East and City
Central.
Railway or
Yeah.
Central Railway. I don't know what
Coast.
the C is. Coast,
It's
maybe?
Chatham.
Oh, yeah.
We're really good at quizzes on the Hidden London Hangouts, everybody.
So just to show the thing you were explaining there, here's a tube map from the 70s, which will show you Strand rather clumsily being crossed out as Charing Cross Station is being built, and Trafalgar Square Station is about to disappear from the map as well, and they get consolidated into what we now know as Charing Cross Station. Okay. Here is Trafalgar Square.
Oh, look at that. I like that. I actually prefer that to what we've got now. Is that
Pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that. It's really cute. And I love the roundel on the top with a stick through it. I don't know, it's probably got a posh name, but I like the stick.
It's
Relevant.
a flagpole, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's a nod to a flagpole. I mean, yeah, you'd struggle to put one on there, but that's definitely
Oh, yeah. Be a
that's what
teeny
it
tiny
developed.
flag.
Teeny! We've got teeny everywhere in these episodes. We're all very moderate here. Everything's teeny.
You know, if ever we're allowed to have cocktail parties again, I want to serve roundels on a stick at it.
Carved out of cherries, glacé cherries.
That's right, yeah. Oh, they're totally going to do that. And then I just wanted to show you what Charing Cross Embankment looked like, because, of course, that being a subsurface railway,
Wow.
there's a really old photo of it with, yes, a steam train coming through it.
So that was the District and Circle Line station, right?
That's right.
And it's got a glass roof on it.
I know.
It's because the current one, it's got a fairly low ceiling. It's because of a ticket hall being built on top of it, isn't it?
Of course. Of course. So that's right by the embankment of the River Thames, isn't it? How cool is that?
Yeah.
Next.
Thought you'd like that. Okay, so now we have a lovely old map from 1907. And if you look at the top of it, on that orangey brown line, the Charing Cross, Euston and Hampstead Railway, you will see a station called Highgate. What is it called today?
Ooh.
Siddy?
It is called Archway. And I know this too well because when I was researching Highgate Station, every time I thought I found something juicy or good about Highgate, it turned out to be Archway. So Highgate is now called Highgate, and Archway used to be called Highgate.
And this station has gone through a lot of name changes with 2 names, but it seems every combination of them has been used. Because it started off as Highgate, then it was Highgate Archway, Archway Highgate, and now Archway. Is that right?
Yeah, and brackets somewhere in between there, sort of. So it was Highgate brackets Archway.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
All of
The
that
craziest of things.
All that Northern Heights plan era was just, it was flipping backwards and forwards. I think it finally settled in 1947.
Remarkable station though, and of course it was a Leslie Green frontage when it was first opened. Beautiful down there, again with lifts that became escalators, all that kind of caper. But it was beautiful, and all those name changes. And I remember my late nan, who used to live very close there, said they couldn't make up their mind what they wanted to call it. Everything kept changing. And I said, but it's Archway, Nan. No, but it changed. It was Highgate. This was when I was a kid. So my interest in the tube and all these kind of crazy name changes has been going on since I used to go and see my nan.
It's your nan's fault. She got you into it.
It's my nan's fault. Nan.
Right, I've got a quick fire round for you without photos. So, ready?
Yeah.
I'm looking for the first hand up for this one. So, for a Star Trek promotion, what did Piccadilly Circus become known as?
Oh no, what was it? Oh yeah, I remember.
Go on, Siddy.
Piccadilly.
Very good.
Oh, it didn't, did it? Oh, really?
They
really?
even incorporated the Star Trek logo into the.
Oh, I just got that.
I mean, I tolerated Gareth Southgate, but Piccadilly. Oh
yeah.
dear.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
That's quite good fun, I thought.
Okay.
Let's have another one. The station that opened as post office in 1900 is now known as what as of 1937?
St Paul's.
Oh, very good. Didn't put his hand up, you noticed.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Sorry. I'll just put my hand up, sir. Is it St Paul's?
It is. Very well done. Very well done.
Oh, hello. Who's calling you?
Sorry, no, I just got a calendar reminder of something.
It's a phone in. It's suddenly become a phone in.
You text them saying, I'm having too much fun in a quiz. Sorry, I can't. Doing a quiz on work time, eh? That's great. Why is the Victoria line unusual with regard to station name changes?
Oh, but
I think Alex just got there before you.
No, I'll let Siddy do this one. I know it, but I'll let Siddy do this one.
None of the station names have changed.
Very good indeed.
All just as they were when they built it in the 60s.
Very
all
good.
the same.
Would you believe that I actually knew the answer to that one as well?
Yes, I would. Laura gets the point.
Of course
Laura
you did.
can have the point on that one. Me and Siddy are just geeks, so Laura can have that one.
This is a tremendous quiz in that I've not been keeping score and there aren't any prizes.
I know, which, you know, for somebody like me, it's a real struggle because I'm just such a teacher's pet. I'm like, oh, I want to tell you.
The viewer is the winner.
The prize is that we all get to go to Chris's cocktail party with his roundel and a stick and a cherry.
It's a deal. We'll
I can't wait to see him in Carl out of cherries.
We'll say we're all winners at the end of this, I think. So yeah.
It's like school sports day in that regard, isn't it, really? We're all winners.
Egg and spoon.
Yeah.
Right. So we're gonna hop back into photos now. So stand by. What was this station known as very briefly before it was closed?
Oh, ooh. It is called Lords.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yes. So this was an extension on the Metropolitan line, and it's in between Baker Street and Finchley Road, and it only had the name Lords for about 6 months just before it was closed, because St John's Wood Road was the station that people would use to get to Lords Cricket Ground. Good work.
Good.
Splendid.
Ready for your next one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Oh.
is this station now known as?
Right. Well,
It's Tooting!
Yes, but which one? Are you going?
Beck.
Oh.
I'll give you half a mark each. Well done.
It is Tooting Beck. It looks
is.
like Tooting Beck.
Yeah. So
I like that name better than Tooting Beck, if I'm honest. It sounds more magical.
Oh, I don't know. And when you used to go on the Northern Line and you used to see those old 1959 silver trains and they'd come in when saying on the front of them, Tooting Beck via Bank, I thought I was getting on a special train because trains didn't normally terminate at Tooting Beck. So I've always had a bit of a soft spot for. Shall I just shut up now? Because I'm really quite sad, aren't I?
I'm a little bit worried
really
about
quite
that,
like
to be honest.
You know, I loved a bit of that. Tooting Beck via Bank. Wow, this is a special train.
One of the reasons I knew the answer to that is it's my my brother and my sister's old stomping ground, for one, but the second is there's a lovely restaurant near there called Trinity, and so that's where my brain went, to the restaurant before the train.
Could you also just say, just for the tape, could you just say that way you said tooting again, really screamingly? I love that.
Tooting!
That's the one. I love that. I love that.
So-
That was actually really screechy. That was a bit horrible. Sorry.
It's probably actually a good point just to break for a moment and say why these stations sometimes change their names. And they're often, when they were built, there may not have been much around them, because they've helped to make that place. And in the case of the ones which are called something road or something street, it's just that's the road that they happen to be built on. Over time, though, if they were near somewhere that became more well known, then sometimes a station, like the example of Lords, will adopt the name of the thing that people use it to go to.
Adjacent to.
Indeed. And then you get other ones where the names may have been confusing because two rival underground railway companies early on in the Underground's history built stations very nearby. So, for example, if you take the Northern Line and Tottenham Court Road, that had a different name originally. Anybody?
Anybody? I do.
Siddy, as soon as I said Northern Line, knew where I was going.
Good job this isn't a radio piece. Those sound effects are very worrying. Oxford Street is what Tottenham Court Road was originally called, and Good Street was Tottenham Court Road, and Warren Street was Euston Road. Yeah. Whoever named those stations, they made a big blunder that day, didn't they?
So usually station names are changed because the Underground is trying to make it more clear for customers where they are and where they serve, and obviously having two stations with similar names can be terribly confusing. So there we are. Sometimes when the stations are modified, the entrances move, and that was certainly the case with Dover Street and Green Park. So it's all about keeping it as clear as possible for the users of the station. Now I do have a couple of extra photos which I thought were just rather nice of Trinity Road to illustrate that change. So I'll just quickly show those. This one just shows it you on the map with the Tooting Beck in brackets.
Love it. Oh, I love it. I love those old signs. I long for one of those nestling in my grapevine in the garden.
Do you not have one, Alex?
Well, I've got a lump of an old tube train in the border, in the bushes.
Yeah. I thought you'd have something,
I would.
You've got a tube train in your bush.
Well, there we are. That's all that needs to be said really today, isn't there? I've got a part of a 1960 Metropolitan line train nestling in my grapevine in the bushes because I bought it and I like a bit of that. So it's on my Instagram page. Follow me, Alex Grundon.
He's got a receipt for it.
Always ready with the plugs. He loves the plugs.
So does Chris. Don't blame me.
I've got one last one for you.
All of you.
Yeah. And again, as soon as I put it up, I'm just going to see who calls it first. Nightingale Lane. Now known as
Clapham South.
Ah, well done, Laura. To you, the prize there. Well done.
Thanks.
And that was the site when it was being built.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Isn't that amazing, though, to think that is how stations started off? You know, you look at them now and they're usually 2-3-story buildings, and they actually were effectively a wooden shed and a crane. That was it. And a load of guys with shovels. I think that's amazing.
It is phenomenal. It is.
And there, with a little group of them together, you can see Tooting Beck on the map. And Nightingale Lane actually made it onto a map as they were building it.
God,
And
this is a
anybody-
weird map, isn't it?
I was going to say,
Yeah.
if you anybody who can't quite navigate, if north is to the
North.
right. So if you turn your computer or your television screen literally one corner round, it'll all make a bit more sense.
I'd
'cause
recommend
that's-
Or
maybe
watch it on your phone and do that.
Yeah, bizarre. But yeah, absolutely great. And of course, you can see Tufnell Park and Highgate on there as well. It's really cool, really cool. Sutton Common could have had a tube station. Look at that. That's incredible. Love.
And Cheam.
Love Cheam.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Cheam.
Cheam
Okay.
and crackers. Lovely. So thank you very much, Quizmaster. That was very good. The winner is obviously our viewer, because they've plundered all of our 4 brains and gained everything in it. Poor you.
Hopefully they played along.
Indeed, I hope they did. And speaking of Nightingale Lane, I didn't go, but the team of 3 went to Clapham South. They went down the stairs, and they're doing quite a lot of work, aren't you guys? You're doing a lot of work at Clapham South at the moment.
We are.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
we'll talk a little bit about that down there.
Well, here we are in Shelter Drake in Clapham.
Whereabouts?
Isn't it atmospheric?
And so, why we started here, Chris? What is it that you want to show us here in Drake?
Well, aside from it being fun hiding in the dark, I thought it'd be nice to show off some of the things that we've been doing to try and make this more of an experience as a place, rather than just a tour. So should we start with the lights?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do it. Good there.
So, what we've done is we've taken out all of this horrible fluorescent lighting that made it really stark and overlit, and we've put back the original bulkhead lighting.
But these aren't, real tungsten bulbs. They're still LEDs, right?
That's right. So the bulbs themselves are LEDs, but with proper filaments and the right colour temperature to look like tungsten.
All I can see now is the asphalt. I know you're off
Pink
my
dots
arm.
floating
The
around.
lights are
And
kind of-
also you can control the
You
level.
can. So if
Go
you want
Siddy.
to moonlighters.
It's romantic lights.
Okay.
I think we get into this a bit
Yeah.
much.
So yeah, it just helps it to look and feel a bit more how it was.
It does. I think it's got a really nice effect. So it makes a massive difference.
Yeah. So this is all a part of the process of creating more of an experience, right? An immersive theatre experience rather than the traditional tour that we've been doing here for the last 5 years. So what else do we have to do in order to make it feel more like how it was 75 years ago?
We've spent the last 5 years between us rounding up lots of things that you would have found here in the wall. So the furniture, it's quite, Spartan in the photos, but it's got a very distinctive look to it. So trestle tables, the telephones, even, of course, the uniform.
Oh, there's always got to be some dress up.
Laura, you should have worn a jacket because it means that you're going to have to do it instead.
She is, out of the 3 of us, she'd be the warden.
Right, I could be the warden.
You've got
I'm
your
a strong mum.
Yeah.
civil defence uniform, correctly worn.
Exactly. So we have to do that. I mean, we do need to do some logistical stuff like cleaning,
Yeah.
building.
Electrical work,
Yeah.
ventilation,
Bringing
lifts,
bringing stuff
all the fun
in
stuff.
and training and stuff. But it will be amazing because this place is really basically the only place in London where you can experience anything close to a Second World War shelter. So we think it's going to be a really.
It'll transform it.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of work, but it's going to be amazing.
And it'll be worth doing.
Yeah. You need to go get the Hoover.
Sandbag fight.
No! God damn it.
That's
Doctor.
incredible. Nix, that was a direct hit. You walloped her right
Good
firm
shot.
in the face. Oh my! Thank God I wasn't there. That's such a brutal thing, honestly. Although I have to say, I really have to say, Laura, you didn't half rock that jacket. I thought that was very, very good.
If he's going to make me wear the jacket, I'm going to hit him around the head with a sandbag.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and Siddy, if I ever need a dimmer person, I want you to control my dimmer. Is that all right? Because I thought you
would
did that.
be more than happy
Lighting
to.
effects.
I thought your lighting management was brilliant on that. I think it was brilliant. And I have to say, it's amazing. If you haven't seen series 1 of the Hidden London Hangouts, we have a whole episode about the creation of Clapham South Deep Level Shelter. It's really cool. There's so much in there. Loads and loads of people have watched it on the internet. If you haven't, why not? Get and watch it, okay? And then in a subsequent episode, we're going to go back down to Clapham South and see what theatre is going to be created down there, because it is, the history of it's amazing, but also the way in which it's been brought to life is now amazing. And that's for a subsequent Hidden London Hangout. Now, Chris, last week we were telling our lovely viewers, hi, about the new Patreon thing, because we all obviously do this for free as a gift. But what we're going to do as well is provide you with some extra material. This is for the only fans among you. Okay, Chris, is that right?
That's right, Alex. We, in order to produce these little shows, we obviously have to do quite a lot of extra research and thinking, and also chat outside of what we do. And for those people who'd like to be part of that, well, we'll be offering a bit more content through our Patreon scheme.
And this is really to help the museum, but it's also gives you a lot of opportunities to see stuff that we can't fit into these hangouts. And it's just great stuff. And we have to sift through it because we can't put everything in. But this is a chance for you to see it at your leisure and just enjoy the bits and bobs that we managed to gather along the way as well. It's going to be quite exciting, I reckon, Laura, isn't it?
I think it's going to be super exciting, and I hope people kind of jump on board with us because it's going to be fun.
And I think, Siddy, one thing I would say about me and you is we often have to be held back from being naughty. And I think the truth of this is that we need to be allowed to explore our inner naughtiness in a separate place.
I think so. You know, what's life without a bit of spice, darling?
Well, exactly. I love spice. I've got a cupboard full of it. So that's it from this episode of the Hidden London Hangouts. I hope you learnt something from our name change special. Thank you very much, Laura. You are gorgeous as always.
I'm just like reliving what we've just done. Saturday night quiz extraordinaire, right? But strength in numbers. I think the three of us got some good points, and I hope everyone found it as fun as we did.
It was utterly ridiculous. I mean, the day we ever get a quiz right on this Hidden London Hangout, honestly, will probably be the day it ends. You know, Siddy, you were gorgeous as always.
Thank you very much. This really quite titillated me. I found it very exciting.
What was that word?
Titillated.
Of course it was. And Chris Nix, thank you very much as always.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. And to those of you joining us in Patreon, we look forward to finding out in which room of your house you have a spice cupboard.
And what you put it in. I've got my spices in an old airline cabin crew trolley.
Ah, so you can move it around between rooms. Excellent. Good.
I can trundle it. I can trundle my allspice everywhere. And that's how I like it. So what you need to do is, if you want to find out more about our crazy lives, follow us on Instagram. You've got Alex Grundon, Chris Nix, Siddy Holloway, Laura Brown, and the LT Museum Instagrams. Follow us, slip into our DM, say hi, ask us questions. If you've got any questions about the Tube or the history or indeed transport in London generally, we'll always try and find you an answer. Also on YouTube, down below, we've got also the details of the Patreon stuff that we're going to have coming soon. And also subscribe, like, because we love you, and comment below this film because we want to hear from you. Next week, we're doing something equally fantastic. In the meantime, have yourself a great day and stay safe.